Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 11 of Pedagogy in Practice. In this video, we are going to be covering a tool known as Padlet. And Padlet has a lot of potential uses for you in your classroom. Now, Padlet is great to be used for an online course, whether that's synchronous or asynchronous. And it's also great to be used in a face-to-face class setting. And the best thing about it is whenever you decide to use it, you can embed it right within Canvas. Now, Padlet is a tool, a free tool for that matter, that allows you to create things known as walls. And on these walls, you can host all manner of things. You can input audio files, video files. You can even upload documents or put in website links. You can take a YouTube link and embed it right in a Padlet. You can even do screen recordings and post them right in a Padlet, or you can even record directly from your webcam straight onto a Padlet. So it has a lot of potential uses. And with that said, let's get right into it. Okay, so before I show you how to use Padlet, I thought it might be best to start off with giving you ideas about ways that you can use Padlet. And the way we're going to do that is when you start setting up a Padlet, it gives you a whole series of options to choose from, and I'm going to go through some of those with you right now. The first way is when you can set up a Padlet is called a wall. Now the wall is, think about it, it's like equivalent to placing Post-it notes on a board. Now ways to use this is you can actually create a wisdom wall where you have students either give at the end of a class give information about what it was like to be in the class itself, a little bit about their experience, and then that wall can be shared with future students, so that way they get a sense of how they're feeling at the start, and then also where they're going to be at the end, and that they're not alone, that other students also went through that same sort of process, the same one that they'll be going through. The wall is also a great way to use for group projects where they can collect resources and they can input ideas and share things. So the wall is a great way to do group projects as well. And of course, it's great to use as a resource board, whether that is strictly, part of a group project, or whether it's class-wide and you have a ton of resources that you're sharing with your students and that students are also contributing to. Now, you can also establish a Padlet in what is known as a stream, and this basically resembles blog posting. And some quick ideas that you could use for a stream are things like checking in. You could actually have them create little blog posts that then stack up on each other. Maybe they're getting back from a holiday and they're checking in, or maybe it's just a natural check-in somewhere during the semester where you want to see how they're doing in the class, and they don't mind sharing that with other students. And you can also use it for creating like little journal posts. Maybe you have a project that requires journal entries as they lead up to it, so you could have them post a series of journals using a stream. A third way is called the grid. Now, the grid is very similar to the wall, and so I'm not going to go over it too much, but you can use it in all the ways that the wall is used, but you can also use it for doing like brainstorming and storyboarding. And basically, with the grid, you're just arranging content in rows of boxes. A fourth way is called the shelf. Now, the shelf displays one column, right? It displays it in column styles. So you can actually group things categorically. So one idea is that you could do one column per question, and then everything that's posted in that column relates to the one question that, is at the top of that column. Or you could also, if you're doing group projects and you have multiple groups, you could assign one column to each group, and then all the content within that one column is specific to that group. So that's one way that you could use shelf for, in your classroom. Additionally, there's three more. So there's also the map. Now the map is pretty cool because what it displays is, as it's named, a map. And so it will display a localized map. So it's a really good way to maybe do some introductions in class, maybe, let students introduce where they're from, or maybe something like with where they've traveled recently, or maybe they've actually ventured out to places that relate to your class. So you can have it as a really nice tool to use for creating introductions for your students. It's also great, of course, for using to use in mapping geographical locations. Maybe there's a project, or maybe something in a story or the book they're reading, or the subject matter allows itself for that. So there's a couple ideas with the map. Another way is called Canvas. And basically it appears like a mind map or a workflow. And of course, mind mapping really helps connect ideas between two are seemingly distant concepts. So it's great for showing relationships. It's great for brainstorming, and maybe there's a project, or they're having to do a presentation, or they're having to develop ideas for a paper, maybe a thesis, all sorts of options. It's great for brainstorming and also sorting ideas and showing those relationships between them. And of course, the last option that you get to choose from is a timeline. And basically, the timeline does what it says. It displays a sequence of events. So perhaps it's a history class, or perhaps you're looking at theories that are founded over time. Whatever that case may be, a great way to use the timeline Padlet would be to develop it, to develop a chronological timeline. Okay, next, let's go ahead and take a look at how to use it. Okay, now that we've sort of walked through some ideas about how to use Padlet, or ways that you can use Padlet, let's actually now start to look at how to use it, and then we'll conclude this section with how to actually embed it into your Canvas course. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to head over to Padlet.com, create an account, and sign in. Once you get signed into Padlet.com and you create your account and everything, and you're officially into the site, you're going to come to a board that looks, or to a landing page that looks similar to this. Basically, you're able to create with the free account 4 different Padlets. Now, in order to get started, you're going to want to go up to the top left-hand corner and just click that plus make a Padlet button up in the top left-hand corner. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. Now, when I do that, what you're going to see is you're going to see all of those different styles that I have to choose from that we went over earlier in this video. I have my wall, the stream, the grid, the shelf, the map, the canvas, and the timeline. So really it's kind of up to me to decide what it is that I want to use in this class. For this project, or for this assignment, or just to have in there as a resource, whatever the case may be. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to select a wall. And it's going to go ahead and start creating the Padlet for me. It pulls it up, and then it starts walking me through the process. So now I can actually come here, and I can actually say, oh, okay, I'm going to change the title of this Padlet, and this one is going to be all about drawing. Let's pretend I'm teaching a drawing class. Drawing with perspective. You'll have to apologize, my typing. Sometimes when people are watching me, I mess up my typing. Anyway, and then I can, of course, come down here and even give the Padlet a description, so I can say, it's a point of view. That's what I'll give as the description, right? So then I can even assign an icon. I can get the address to copy the clipboard, but that's not what I'm going to want to do. I can even change. Right now it kind of has this cool wallpaper texture sort of look to it. I can even come in here and I can change the way that looks. I can come here and get some solid colors. I can come through here and look at textures and patterns, so on and so forth. But I like this parchment sort of look, so I'm going to leave it as is. I can change it from a light color scheme to a dark color scheme, but I'm going to leave it on the light one for now. I even have 4 choices of fonts. I can give an attribution so that the author's name will display above each post. I can set it up so that, how it's positioned, so that whether it's the first post is first, or it's the last post that's first. I can even now come down here and say, okay, now when viewers come to this, I want them to be able to comment, so I'm definitely going to turn that on. I can come down here to reactions, and I can, allow people to, choose different types. They can like things, they can vote, they can star, they can grade. So I can come here and select all of these, really. And I'll be happy with that, and maybe I won't have grades. Maybe I'm like, okay, I don't want them to have a grade. So if there's a way that I can undo that, I think, oh, I can't select all of them. Sorry, my bad. We can just select one at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and say I want them to be able to like it, much like they do on social media. I'm going to come down a little bit further. So I've allowed liking to happen. I can even set up things like require approval, so that before it officially posts, I have to approve it. I don't think I'm going to be doing this. I don't want too many bottlenecks when it comes to sharing the resources in here. If I need to delete something later and handle it on the side, I will. I can also, turn on the filter profanity, which will help me monitor and keep track of the type of language being used. And so once I have these set up, I'm pretty much set to go. So I can now come here and say next. Now it says I'm all set. I can post to my heart's content, so I'm going to go ahead and say start posting. Now what you'll notice is as soon as I go to the start posting part, once I click that button, I get this little pink button down here in the lower right-hand corner. And I can basically click on that to bring up the first thing that I would like to add into my new Drawing with Perspective Padlet. And you'll see that I actually have a ton of options. I can come here and I can say, okay, I'm going to actually upload something. I'm going to take a photo. I'm going to provide a link. I'm going to embed an image. I could even come in here and say, I want more. So then it gives me even more options. I can do drawings. I can do screen recordings. I can do a video recorder. I can take a picture directly from my camera. I can bring in YouTube videos, Spotify music. Anyway, the point is that you see you have a ton of different options. So for the sake of this one, let's go ahead and I'm going to upload an image. So of course I'm going to navigate to my through my computer. I'm going to come and find a image that I want. Of course I have some save that I have to do with Drawing with Perspective. So I can come here and find the one that I'm referring to. I like this, a 2-point perspective, so I'm going to go ahead and say open that. It's going to take a moment, and you'll see that this is kind of the progress bar, but then once it's there, it actually gives me a little image display right here. And then I can give it a comment, so I could actually come here and say, okay, we're talking about 2-point perspective here. And I can write something in here as well. Drawn last Saturday or whatever. I'm not going to spend a lot of time flushing that out right now, but I'm going to go ahead and say publish. Now once I say publish, that image is now posted into my Padlet. So it's a really cool feature. You can embed a lot of different things into the Padlet, and it's really simple to use. It's as easy as what we just did. Now I'm also going to show you that I can come here and I can click the plus. And I can, once again, this time I'm going to go ahead and link a YouTube video. So I'm going to pull up a YouTube link. And I will come in here and I can actually just put the URL to that video right into that search bar. And I'm going to go ahead and say, go get that. And sure enough, it pulls up the perspective grid video that I found that I think is a great instructional video. And I can go ahead and say publish. And now that perspective grid video is now present in there as well. And you'll see that down below, people have the ability to add comments, to like the post, do all of those sorts of things. And it can even be dragged and dropped and moved around, reordered, and all of that. So it's very friendly to use. I even have the option to come into the Padlet, and I can just, instead of going to that plus, I can actually just find an image somewhere that I have, and I can actually just go ahead and drop it right into that space, and it will then add it to my Padlet, just like I did with all the others. And so I'm going to just call this one Staircase and say Published. So now you can see I'm really developing some pretty cool resources here, or examples of Drawing with Perspective. So if I was doing an art class and I gave an assignment about Drawing with Perspective, I might have them do some quick sketches using the perspective views and post it into this Padlet. So it's as easy to use as that. So up next, let's go ahead and talk about how to embed it within your Canvas course. All right. Now what we want to do is we want to embed this Padlet right into the Canvas course. That way it's not really requiring our students to have to click on it and head outside of the Canvas course to access it. And this is how we're going to do that. On your Padlet, up in the top right-hand corner, go ahead and click Share. And it's going to give you a series of options. The one that you're interested in is down here, second from the bottom, called Embed in your blog or website. And go ahead and click on that Embed button. Now, once you get here, you're going to see this whole bunch of HTML pop out from the right-hand side. Don't worry, you don't need to worry about highlighting anything. You just need to come here and click Copy. So once you've copied that HTML to your clipboard, what you're going to want to do now is head back to your Canvas where you have a page set up, and you can add and embed the Padlet right into that page. So for me, I'm going to head back here into this page that I was building. As a matter of fact, I've already given it a title, Drawing with Perspective Padlet, right? Now what I want to do is I'm going to come here to Insert. I'm going to navigate my mouse down to Embed, and I'm going to click Embed. Now once I get there, I'm going to come into the Embed Code field. I'm going to paste that code that I just copied from Padlet, and I'm going to say Submit. Once I've done that, you will see that my Padlet is now present in my Canvas course. And I'm going to click Save. And that is how it is going to appear in the class. And that is how you add Padlet into Canvas, and also how you use it and some ideas for using Padlet. I hope you've enjoyed episode 11. Talk to you next time.